All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Me here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. I'm going to be talking about an Eric Clapton review, a review of an Eric Clapton show in St. Louis. I don't know really what to say, and typically, I'm not stumped. Typically, I have a lot to say and I talk too much. Before I get going, here are Ghost Towns. First, last time. These guys are taking over the internet. It's blues, it's rock, it's soul, it's Americana, it's country, it's Southern rock. I'm not sure what else it could be. I mean, maybe it could be jazz. It's not jazz, but it's absolutely stunning. So go check out Ghost Towns. Vocally, very powerful. Now, Eric Clapton doing a little mini tour of the United States right now. He finished a show in St. Louis, and the reviews have been pretty good. And this article starts off really good. Written by the Riverfront Times, or appearing in the Riverfront Times, written by Steve Leftridge. Yeah, his name is Leftridge, okay? Why is that funny? You'll see. Eric Clapton showed St. Louis that even if he's not God, he's still the GOAT. Clapton's Enterprise Center revealed the 78-year-old rocker in top form. Now, this article might be trolling me. It might be trolling me. If it's not trolling me, it's just trolling Eric Clapton fans in general. So here's how it starts. I don't know if I'm going to read every paragraph, but there are moments during this that I don't know. You'll see. St. Louis scored a biggie recently when Eric Clapton announced that Enterprise Center would be one of just 5 stops on his extremely limited 2023 North American tour. The arena filled up for Clapton's show last night, and when the legend strolled on stage just before 9 p.m., the crowd roared to its feet, starstruck. They didn't remain standing for long, however. After all, my 15-year-old daughter was easily the youngest person in the building. After scanning the crowd, I started to suspect that I was the second youngest. So Steve Leftridge, I guess, drew the short straw, and he wound up going to Clapton. He goes on here, I was surprised that more people south of, say, 50 didn't prioritize seeing the greatest living guitarist in person on what is highly likely to be his last call, at least in St. Louis. It's fairly easy to make a case for Clapton as capital G greatest, if not the actual greatest. But his performance last night would have made almost anyone a believer in either. Okay, so the next line. I've got to breathe for this. I'm sorry. I might need oxygen. I am kind of an older dude. I'm north of 50. So here we go. Clapton, fit and spry at age 78. And in parentheses, it says, I hope he's had his boosters. I hope he's had his boosters. Exclamation point. That's got to be a troll. So the connection here is Clapton looks really good for his age. He's fit, he's spry, and I hope he's had his boosters because you know what? We need to mess that up. We need to mess up the fact that he's fit and spry at age 78. Hey, what's this guy's name again? Hey, Steve Leftridge. I can pretty much confirm that Eric has not had his boosters. Just a hunch. That and the fact that Eric and I are friends a little bit. You know, not bragging or anything, but you can watch the interview here, especially the first interview I did with Clapton. I don't think he's fond of boosters. All right. So either this guy is totally aware of what Clapton is all about and is mocking him here, or he's completely oblivious to what Clapton was up to, say, 2 or 3 years ago. Probably doesn't even know there's a song called Heart of a Child that Eric put out there. That's my hunch. I could be wrong. Anyway, hope he's had his boosters. Goes on to say, was brilliant on both electric and acoustic guitars all night. Looking and sounding no different than he did 30 years ago. Agreed. My daughter declared that he was cute. Not just grandfather cute, according to her, but cute cute. Okay, that's a little awkward and a little creepy. Wearing a denim shirt, jeans, and Nike sneakers, all the classic Clapton moves are intact. The elegant position shifts up and down the neck, the stepping in place, the little oscillating sway, the gaze upward on the high notes. All right. I don't know if I want to read all of this, but we get a lot of creative writing here. Weep Worthy also was Clapton's tribute to the recent passing of Robbie Robertson. Now, here's another problematic line in this super well-written article. Yes, Clapton is all about clean lines, and not just the kind that used to go up his nose. Yeah, no, I'm serious. That's what they wrote. This is what Steve Leftridge wrote. Man, a guy who should be celebrated for not putting that stuff up his nose. And at Clapton's expense, after talking about how great he is on guitar, Clapton is all about clean lines and not just the kind that used to go up his nose. Again, in case you're wondering, I will put the link in the description of this video. Most of this is praising Clapton, but these little digs and jabs to me ruin the entire article. This was put in the Riverfront Times, and the title is Eric Clapton showed St. Louis that even if he's not God, he's still the GOAT. You know, I've been defending Eric Clapton for 3 years now. 3 years. And I'll continue to do so. So he talks about his tribute to Robbie Robertson, The Shape I'm In, and It Makes No Difference, songs that Clapton is often credited with changing his life. Video close-ups revealed a blackened nail on the middle finger of Clapton's courting hand, as though he had recently failed to get his finger away from a swinging hammer. I've never heard of a guitar player's courting hand. This is the first time. After the band tributes, Clapton got bluesy, Key to the Highway, also I'm Your Hoochie Coochie Man. Clapton's band, of course, uniformly first rate, and he threw solos on these tunes to electric pianist Chris Stainton, supplementary guitarist Andy Fairweather Lowe, and organist Paul Carrack, whom you'll remember as the lead singer on Mike and the Mechanics' 1988 hit, The Living Years. That's it? You won't remember Paul Carrack from Ace or Squeeze or from his solo stuff? Just one song by Mike? See, this is what's wrong with everything. Nobody knows anything. Either that or they didn't want to spend a lot of time on Paul Carrack. But you could do a whole article about Paul Carrack. But all eyes were on Clapton, and while his solos were short stories, he knew when to stop. Rarely did he take more than a trip or two through the progression, preferring instead to ace one round and get to the next song. In other words, he was efficient. It goes on and on. When he strapped the Stratocaster back on, the band sounded all the louder for it on Tearing Us Apart, the Tina Turner duet from 1986's August. Backup singer Katie Kissoon, a legend herself, took the teen apart as Clapton turned to her and sort of smiled. No word of tribute about Tina's passing from the stage or anything else last night. That little smile was about as effusive as Clapton got. So, Eric, you need to smile more, buddy. You're not smiling enough on stage. Wonderful Tonight was next, which he always plays. So take that, George Harrison. Okay. Anyway, and we're still going to talk about the George Harrison stuff. We're just not going to let it go. Just like the line about the cocaine. Hope he's had his boosters. And man, those bends were pretty clearing the way for some scorching crowd pleasers. Crossroad Blues, the creamiest song of the night, and Cocaine. Opening act Jimmy Vaughn returned to the stage to trade licks on a Carrick-sung High Time We Went. But Vaughn was no match for Clapton. No, Jimmy Vaughn stinks, right? If there was one takeaway from the night, it was that even now in 2023, nobody is. So get off the stage, Jimmy Vaughn. Jimmy Vaughn's a great guitarist. Not quite as prolific as his brother. But if Eric is hanging around with Jimmy, that says a lot about Jimmy Vaughn. Anyway, a horrible article. Even though it was praising Clapton throughout, some ridiculous lines in here about a 30-year-old habit that Eric Clapton beat, and he should be celebrated for it. No mention of how Clapton, after his second dose of this wonderful, safe, and effective product, where, again, the author is hoping that Clapton has had his booster, right? No mention about how Clapton recovered from that and is fit and spry, despite the best attempts by the medical industrial complex to not make him fit and spry anymore. So anyway, Mr. Leftweather, or whatever your name is, I got to get this right before I go. Yeah, Steve Leftridge. Okay. Just a great review by Steve Leftridge. Leave him some feedback. He's just superb. And I'm still defending Eric Clapton because guess what? I think I'm the only person that does. So in any event, folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You might want to buy some duct tape. That was the only thing that I probably did wrong. I didn't bring the duct tape for that line. And Steve, if you're just trolling me, brother, great troll. Very good. I hope he's had his boosters. Ghost Towns, First Last Time. Just a terrific album. And go check it out. Just like this review. Please subscribe to the channel, folks. I think I'm the only person doing music and commentary like this. So just subscribe because you never know what I'm going to do. All right. Again, go get him, Eric. Don't worry about smiling too much. Don't listen to these people because they're just, a little, I don't know if it's jealousy. You're 78 years old. The 15-year-old has a crush on the 78-year-old. Yeah, I want to include that in the article. That sounds very normal. Anyway, folks, see you soon.